Hi everybody, so my name is Rosa and I'm here in my kitchen, and today I'm going to make some homemade enchiladas with rice. And the reason I'm making these is because I've been asked by several people, how do you make your enchiladas? And I said, well, my enchiladas are not the same as a traditional Mexican kitchen. Why? Because they're healthier and they don't make you feel like you're about to burst after you eat them. I mean, like bathroom wise. So the ingredients we are going to need, and I will show you step by step how to do this. It's actually pretty easy if you multitask and you do this in the way where you're doing a couple things at once. You'll get through this, trust me. Here we go. Okay, so I have Colby Jack cheese right in this one, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. This is the brand of chili pods to make our enchilada sauce, El Guapo Chile, New Mexico. So make sure that it's any type of red chili pods. It doesn't matter the brand, to tell you the truth. Then we have our lettuce here, which is just iceberg shredded lettuce. We have our Mission yellow corn tortillas. These are extra thin. I love these tortillas I love it like coffee. Why? Because there's 3 tortillas, have 24 grams of carbs. Okay, what better can you get than 24 freaking grams of carbs? And if you're like me, I eat carbs and the next day I look like a freaking balloon, then okay, so there's our chili pods. These are pretty cool. I like these. Those are the same ones that are in the bag. For our brown rice, this is actually great value brown rice. It's from Wally World, and this is the easiest freaking rice you'll ever make. You just add tomato sauce, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Okay, there's our tomato sauce, no salt added so we don't swell up. Then we got our meat. Now the meat that I get is from Walmart. It's a chuck tender roast. The difference between this meat, and as you see, it's a little bit pricier than the other meats, is that it only has 3.5 grams of fat. Other thing I do is all that fat that you see right there, I take that off because that's disgusting to me. Now, this is our onions that we are going to put in lime juice so they kind of soften up a little bit, and it takes away all that crying away from them. And then we got our extra virgin olive oil. Then we got avocados here that we're going to chop up or slice. And then we got some tomatoes there and some limes. Okay, so our extra virgin olive oil, that's going to be to dip our tortillas in. So I know that sounds like healthier, but it really is healthier. Well, it's better for you. Then we got our Greek yogurt. So this is what we're going to use instead of sour cream. Reason is it has 210 milligrams of potassium, 15 grams of protein. What better can you get than that? So that's the only reason I like this to use over regular sour cream. All right, so here we go. We're gonna get started. We're going to chop up our meat first, and we're going to start cooking it here because that is our first step. It takes a little bit longer. That's what we're gonna do right now. Sharpening up my knife, because if you don't sharpen it up, then it's gonna be pretty tough to cut some meat. So right here, we're going to take off this disgusting fat that's in the back of this. I say disgusting because I got plenty of fat on me. I don't need any more. So I kind of just pull and slice. Pull and slice. Just be careful not to get your fingers. So right now, I'm starting by slicing the meat into large pieces that are kind of thin right there. And just keep slicing it until you are done. So after you have finished slicing your meat, oh crud, I dropped one. You're going to slice it into what I call strips. So strips of meat, and then you're going to turn it around and you're going to cut it into squares, essentially squares or cubed or whatever. And the reason you want to do this is because this type of meat is generally pretty tough when you eat it. If you cook it in a hole, of course, it's going to be pretty tough. But if you cook it like this, it will have enough time to soften up in the pan. So you know, that's one of the things that somebody told me once. They're like, you're using that kind of meat. Actually, a butcher told me that. He's like, isn't that going to be pretty tough? I said, no, not really. Not if I cut it into squares and I let it, you know, cook the right amount of time. So it'll actually become pretty soft. Hello. So here we have our chopped up meat, or cubed. I don't know the correct term, but that's all right. So you might ask, Rosa, why do you have so much meat in your pot? And I don't. That's because I chopped up 3 more packets of the meat. Okay, so now we're gonna put some olive oil to cook the meat. Right here, extra virgin. This is another one that I have opened. I brought another one from the store, but just enough to make sure that your meat doesn't stick. Yeah, I eyeball it because I'm already a pro. Okay. Then I add just a little bit of salt, not too much, because when you add too much salt, then for some reason, I don't know, it just, for me, the salt, keep it to a minimum until the end where your meat is cooked and you can add more salt to taste. Now we're gonna set it on high. I'm gonna grab one of our wooden little spoons here, and it has a hole. Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna kind of like move it around so that oil can spread on the meat and it doesn't stick to our pan or pot or whatever. Okay, so don't forget to cover it. So you set it on high, you cover it, and you wait for it to it starts expelling some of its juices, and it's gonna bubble a little. So then when it starts to bubble, we're gonna turn it down. Okay. Okay, step number 2 is you grab your little chili pods and you gotta remove this stem. I guess that's what you would call it. And then you would put it in your pot here, which we are going to fill with water after we're done putting our chili pods in here. If you're just making food for 2 people, I would do about maybe 10 chili pods to 15 for your enchilada sauce. But if you're making food for a crap load of people like I am, then I'm gonna make this, and that. Okay. Okay, so now our meat is bubbly, like I said, it's boiling. So we're gonna turn it down to medium, and as we go along, we're going to either turn it down or turn it up. It all kind of depends on how the meat is cooking, and you gotta turn it a little, because scrape it off the bottom, because otherwise it'll stick. But once you turn it down, it should start cooking pretty soon. So here we've added our water into our pot to boil the chili pods. So you want to add more water because when you're boiling them, of course, the water is going to evaporate. So we're gonna put this on high and we're gonna let that boil, and when it boils, make sure that you check it, because sometimes the chili pods end up boiling over. So check it, and then we'll turn it down to medium. We're gonna check our meat again, and we're gonna turn it, or you know, I say turn it, but stir it. Okay, that was a little break. We're going to do our onions here, and what we're going to do is we're going to slice these onions, and we're going to put them in a different little container with some lime juice, so that way they, you know, sit there a little bit and cook, I guess, in the lime juice. Here we go. So make sure that when you're cooking, I don't usually wear makeup, but for, you know, my sake, I'm wearing a little bit of makeup. For me, onion always makes me cry. My mother said that if onion makes you cry, you are a jealous person. Well, guess what? Maybe I am a very freaking jealous person, because I bawl my eyes out. So we're going to slice these. Hopefully I don't cry, but it's starting to take effect right now. Oh. It's gonna turn into a soap opera. Okay, we got them. We got the onions in here. You break them up a little bit, slice them, and then we're gonna add lime juice. Here goes the lime. And then I'll get to the point. Yep, see, there they go. There they go. Why? Why do you leave me? It sounds like I'm in a soap opera. They used to say that the soap opera characters used to use onions, which is really weird. I mean, now I guess I could say now, who's cutting onions in here? Okay. If anybody has a cure for this, I would like to hear it. Gosh, it's like a freaking funeral in here. Oh, I can't open my eyes. Okay, hold on. I guess I could skip the onion, but no. After this, I promise, it tastes really good. After this, you're probably not even going to want to do this. Okay, I'll just do this with my eyes closed. That's fine. I can still kind of see if I... Okay. I just did that. I just did that with my eyes closed. Wow. A round of applause. And I can't open my eyes, so I'm gonna go freaking do something real quick. I'm just gonna check my meat somehow. Oh, look at that. Okay, the meat's going all right. We don't gotta worry about it. Oh my God, I'll be right back. Okay, so after that crying session, here we go. We're going to slice up our tomatoes. So you slice them half, and then you make smaller slices like this. Okay, so now, just put your tomatoes aside, right there. Okay, so do the rest of your tomatoes, and I'll see you back. I'm just kidding. Okay, here we go. This is our avocado. We're gonna do the exact same thing with the avocado, except that there's a really easy way to get this avocado out of its shell. You just scrape it. See? Ah, look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now you go like, slice, slice, slice. Be careful with your fingers because those ones slice pretty easy too. And see, we put them on the side. Put them on the side. Now we got to do the rest of our avocados. I usually do about, for my family, which is 6 people, I do 5 avocados, or 4 avocados, sorry. And this is just for garnish. So it makes it look pretty and it tastes really freaking good. Okay, here's the Hunt's tomato sauce. No salt added, like I said. Now we're gonna pour some of this in our pot here. This is, we're gonna make our rice. And I just kind of eyeball it. Just kind of eyeball it. See? And now we're gonna fill this up with water up to the instructions on the box. But since I already know what to do, I will eyeball it. Okay? I'm just filling it up. This is how you make the red rice. This isn't the traditional red rice because, first of all, I don't got time for that. And that's it. Okay. Usually for me, I already know that this is my stopping point. So here we go. So now I'm going to add my salt and to taste. So I usually do about that much, because I already know how much I put in this. And then so we're going to let this boil. Oh, I am going to put some pepper in this because I love pepper. Attention! And my chilies, they boiled over. Okay, now we're going to turn it down to medium. Don't forget to check your meat. Our meat is looking pretty freaking good. And we're going to keep letting it cook until all this water that's right here, or juice, evaporates, I guess. And then, it starts to kind of fry. So we're going to cover this up. Our Chobani original plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and what we're gonna do is we're kind of gonna make this into a we're gonna water it down, but it's actually, you can either use milk or water. So I'm gonna add, don't do this with a whisk. If you do this with the whisk, I've done it with a whisk and it's not good. It's not a good idea. So we'll do it with a fork because it kind of just moves it. See, waters it down a little, just kind of giving it the consistency of sour cream. And we are going to add a little bit of salt for taste. So that looks pretty good to me as far as consistency goes. It's a little smoother. There we go. Okay, so we'll add a little bit of salt for taste, and Yes, I do taste my food when I'm making it. It's just not on camera. So now our tomato sauce and water is boiling for our rice, and we're gonna add our rice. Just kind of. And we will probably have a ton of leftovers tomorrow. But that's okay. Leftovers are better the next day. Okay, now we just gotta let it come to a boil, which is going to be fairly quickly here. And as soon as it comes down to a boil, you want to turn it to low and cover it up, just like the instructions say. By the way, our chili pods are done now, so I'm gonna turn these off. Okay. Okay, so now we're just gonna put our chili pads in here. This is my old Ninja blender. I like it, but what I don't like about it is that it cracks easily with the heat. So I gotta get a new one. So we're just gonna put these in here, and then we're gonna add some of this water that they've been boiling in. And there we go. Okay, so with this, I'm just gonna dip one of my little pans that I have in here, and of course it's cooling. Slowly, we're gonna put that in there. I do about that much of water because then when you blend it, it's gonna kind of rise up to here. And what I'll do is I'll put some pepper in it, some salt. Don't put a lot of salt because then when we use the strainer to get the seeds and the remainder of the chili pod, whatever didn't blend right, we're gonna add a little bit more salt. And we're gonna do garlic, okay? Like 2 garlic cloves. Okay, so here we have our strainer. We blended the chili pods, and now we're just gonna put them in this pot that I have here on medium heat. And what you'll do is that you'll try to get this, like I said, the stuff that didn't blend, so that way when you're eating these, you don't have to spit at every moment because there's seeds and there's some of the part of the chili pod that doesn't blend. Okay, so you'll do this until you're done with your chili pods, and then in the end, if it's a little too thick, then you can add a little bit of the same water that you boiled them in. So I'll see you in a little bit. So here we're going to put our tortillas in hot oil. So the enchilada sauce will stick to the tortilla. So I'm gonna make a couple of these and I'll show you. You don't have to put them in there for very long, just to soften them up, okay? So I believe it's ready. So you just kind of twirl them around a little, and you turn them around. You also don't want them too soft because then they'll break apart, you know? So you kind of turn them around until you feel like they're a little, like from the middle right here, they should become a little firmer. I'm going to turn it up a little because it's not really doing the job. And then I'm going to put them in this plate for now. Just kind of take some of that oil out, you know. Now we're going to dip our little tortilla into the enchilada sauce before it freaking breaks. And then we're gonna come over here, and we got our meat right here that has already been done. Don't forget about your meat. And then you're going to, make a line. Okay, and then over here we got our jack cheese. And see, you add a little bit and then you close it. Darn it, come on, close. See, I make mine really stuffed. You don't have to do like 4 turns or anything. I usually do 2, but because it was so stuffed, I just wanted to close it. So you do the same process, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, here we're gonna put them in the microwave for about I put a minute, and then about 30 seconds or so, I take them out just so I can melt the cheese, and then we'll put them in another plate, and then I'll show you how to do that. So here they are. They came out. We're going to transfer them over to this plate, and this is the easiest thing because you just slide them out. Okay, then I'm gonna come over here. I'm actually gonna add my rice now, just because I feel like it. We're gonna add our rice right there on the side. Okay, now we're gonna come over this way. And we are going to add some of this sour cream stuff that we made. Just a little bit, not that much. Okay. And then we gotta add our lettuce on top. Okay. Add our slices of tomatoes and our onions that we have here with lime on the top. If you don't like onions, you don't have to put onions. And here's our avocado. And then to top it off, we're gonna do a little bit of Parmesan on top. We're just gonna add the Parmesan. And then you know what? If you want to drizzle a little bit of the enchilada sauce in here onto your rice like that. Maybe even a little bit to the sides here, because I forgot. I'm guilty. Forgot to add more of the enchilada sauce on top before putting them in the microwave. So here we go. There's our enchiladas. And then we have a little guinea pig over there that's waiting to try them. So I'm gonna give them to her. The little guinea pig is our 14-year-old daughter. Okay, guinea pig. Okay. Go ahead. She's gonna try them and see what it's like. Oh God, please don't make a mess of them.
I'm gonna make me choke.
And she'll probably eat like 5 of these more. See, okay, that's a weird way of eating avocado, but okay, she's eating her avocado just straight off the top. Here we go. Let's see how long this is gonna take. Okay, I should try to rice with a little bit of mole sauce on her face. Let's see. Oh wow, yeah, no, we need some napkins in here.
It was really good. It was amazing. I just burnt myself with the rice.
That's homemade cooking right there for you.
And it's healthy.
And it's healthier than, it's healthier than the traditional, because we use a lot of olive oil and the cleanest cuts of meat. And we have brown rice, which is good for your digestion. And also, the vegetables, of course, and you can top them off however you want, but this is the way we figured that our family likes it. So if you have any questions or anything, rough stuffing. If you have any questions, she's stuffing her face. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I will reply as soon as I can. Really, this is the best way I've seen, according to what I believe. So, there you go. Enchiladas a la Rosa.